This Super Bowl props, first bets, and game leaders edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Prize Picks. Head over to prizepicks.com/SGPN and use promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's US based and available in 40 states. Head to cut.com. That's KUTT.com and use promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus. And we're also brought to you by our Patreon. We just dropped our bonus behind the scenes episode of me winning $200K plus. Last week's pick'em was a free $250 Super Bowl square. Don't want to miss out. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon to join today.
Hey, this is LeGarrette Blunt, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner on picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
It's a super week, Sean.
Oh yes, it is a super week. Super Bowl 58 player props in honor of Super Bowl 58. Big Gambling, aka Southwest, delayed our flight Friday. Couldn't get into the Vegas studio in time. No worries, Ryan. We got a double session in our future here for the good folks. We got tonight. We're doing game leaders and player first, with the exception of first touchdown, like first catch, first rush attempts. We got some fun angles on those game leaders. Then tomorrow we're doing the exotic props.
Yeah, we're gonna head over to the exotic land. 15 props in the exotic world. So I think we may take some liberties to what's exotic and novelty. And then 15 Niners props, 15 Chiefs props. And then if you're doing the math, you're like, well, wait a second, that's 45 plus 10, 55. And then of course, final episode, Sean, live from Vegas, beautiful win.
Oh yes.
Blue Wire Studio, where we will give out our official picks. So we will have side, total, money line.
Is your side and money line pick going to be for the same team? That would be the ultimate sharp play, Ryan.
What? Both passes? Come on.
Shout out to everyone in the sports gambling community reaching out, saying what a hero I was for speaking out for people who pass. If you pass on picks, I pass on your show.
Do you think it's a safe place in here?
Yes.
I think that it's heard. It's been heard. I'm not gonna. I don't want to say you instigated picks, but I'm seeing a lot of people stepping out and all of a sudden making picks.
Yeah,
not even the people you were addressing indirectly or directly, or but everyone seems to have an opinion now, Sean. I'm hearing a lot less passing. Very brave of you. We're gonna look back on this moment, and it's gonna be no different than that time. I don't want to say something offensive here, but that time that someone did something for the first time that changed history. And you can use whatever example works for you. I don't want to use an example that might offend someone.
So you compared myself to Jackie Robinson. Would be too much of a stretch.
Would be a great example. Rosa Parks, another great example.
Yes.
You both ends of the spectrum.
Both do not apply here.
What do you mean?
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah,
bravery in the act of
heroic in my actions. Right. Well, and I got really angry. Got really fired up.
Do you have to apologize?
No.
I didn't know if we got an email from the suits.
No, I mean,
what suits?
No apologies. If anything, I feel energized and engaged.
Sean, someone asked that. Have you guys had any issues with management? Like a generic management. I didn't. There was no context to the conversation. And I go, we have no management.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it.
That's a great thing about being independent. We truly do have no I'm thinking of a couple instances where people got their panties in a bunch and tried to complain to the sponsors, and the sponsor said something to me, and I'm like, well, that's the show, take it or leave it, and then they stayed on. So don't try me with that bullshit.
Well, I think that you're also just speaking to current society. Most people are Jello, we'll say, and so a little poking and you find your way. Whereas if you just a little bit of a bite, it'll snap back from time to time. You might get a reputation for being a little rough around the edges. But you're not going to get taken advantage of.
Real quick, Ryan, because we do have we got to kick the props off.
I would say this will be the shortest of the episodes. Like this really? Episode has
it's an appetizer.
It's NFL, but this is a rare NFL episode that has no threat of getting to 90 minutes.
Nick saying no issues with the internet crashing after your rant, Sean. No, but it did. I was Ryan across the street. Had to do a little shopping.
From here?
Yes.
Oh, I'm just trying to wonder where you're shopping across the street.
There's one store there.
I assume it's Walgreens.
I was checking out.
CVS.
No, it
unnamed drugstore.
No, it was. I was checking out, and there's two registers. I was at one. No. One was behind me, and I hear the Walgreens phone ring, and yes, Juan from Walgreens.
No, he's back.
Oh, he was always there. I just hadn't seen him in a long time.
Which motherfucker is? I had an incident at Walgreens recently,
and I turned and looked at him, and he did. I don't think he remembers me, but there was some fear in his eye. Maybe he just didn't want to acknowledge me because he was on the phone.
Is he bossy? Would he have been training someone?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Juan liked to wield his power, Ryan. Oh, 100%. And he was giving this person attitude on the phone. I was like so close to hopping in. He fires off this real smart answer. Yes. Well, of course we're open. We are a corporation. It's like, I immediately wanted to side with the person.
Yep.
Also, the reason they're calling is because it's raining a bunch in California, so everyone thinks everything should shut down.
Everything's closed.
I could do 20 minutes on that, but
so I'm in there, and I don't know that it was Juan, but what you're describing, a guy who was like inappropriately being just
bossy.
So he's training this kid. And he's basically scolding this kid on what he did wrong. He's also clearly training the kid. And this woman who, we'll just say mom age, she just casually looks at him. She's like, I appreciate your need to give this poor kid a lesson, but how about you check me out? He had this, you could tell he wanted to say, like, he wanted to give her something, but he's
customer's always right. Except when they actually have their tracking number and you won't give me my fucking package. All right. You know who has great customer service?
I thought you were going to say who has a great package.
Not rough around the edges. Well, around the edges, you got a pretzel crust, not rough at all. You got that golden buttery brown pretzel crust with those salty sprinkles. It is a delectable treat. I mean, perfect for your Super Bowl party, as it's the official pizza of the NFL. Love the NFL. Love Little Caesars pretzel crust pizza. I mean, my mouth starts watering. I'm salivating while reading this ad. That's how committed I am to celebrating Little Caesars, and you can get it delivered or our in-store pizza portal pickup. Grab some friends and enjoy a few slices during the game. Little Caesars pizza. And speaking of Super Sunday, looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. Currently, the Kansas City Chiefs are 2-point favorites on the DraftKings Sportsbook app for Super Bowl 58. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code SGP. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Super Bowl 58 with code SGP. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, parentheses 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for gambling problem. For problem gambling, correction. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please pay responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort (parentheses in Kansas), 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. That was fun. Kramer, let's do it. Let's get to the props.
So I was applauding football there and effort, great football. All right, so yeah, we were kind of thinking there's so many damn props,
and I was so focused on the disclaimer, I did make a mistake. The Chiefs are not favored; they are 2-point underdogs. Luckily, that's not. I was so laser focused on reading every single word correctly of the disclaimer that I messed up the most important part.
Did Juan have a problem with your diction and enunciation? Man, I need to hear that a little clearer. Juan from Walgreens.
Shout out to you.
All right, so we wanted once again, just like last year, we wanted to make sure we got enough props out there for everyone to have an opportunity to like something that came out of our mouth. And so this year we figured we'd chop up I don't quite remember there being so many of these first markets in the past.
Oh, yeah.
I know some have existed, but I feel like maybe the prices just haven't been as delightful. But certainly this year there are some opportunities. So going to bang on some of those. Like you said, we're going to save the first touchdowns for the teams. I think that's the plan. Unless Sean decides to take the first touchdown. I
almost did to anger Ryan.
What?
Get the first crack on first touchdown.
Oh, that would be no. You need. I almost thought we should save it for the pregame show, but
no, because people will want to fire on it. We'll save it for the final Super Bowl show.
Oh, not even on the team show.
Okay, team show.
I think it should be one of your 15 props.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you're not gonna fire on more than 2 for a team. So
yeah,
you're not a savage. All right, so how do you want to go first? You want me to go first? So here's how we're gonna do it: 10 props, $5,800 to spend, and in honor our 42,690 got turned down by management, so we're going to 5,800 instead. I'll let you go first, Sean.
Okay.
If you watch the VSiN show, there's a couple here that you may have already heard, so got first in line crack to it. But go ahead, Sean.
I'll do one we didn't get to on VSiN, but I love it. Give me first turnover. San Francisco 49ers plus 105. I'm putting 1,200 on it, Ryan, right out of the gate. My boy Brock Purdy,
1,200,
gonna be coming through with an interception. I mean, there's so many reasons like this. One, Purdy just throws a number of interceptable passes. I even stay tuned. Maybe I'll fire right now. The L'Jarius Sneed first interception price is 10-1. I don't know. Like I'd like L'Jarius Sneed to get an interception. I got to see what that price is versus first interception. Either way, I have had visions of L'Jarius Sneed.
Wow.
Brock Purdy trying to force it to Brandon Ayuk. I think L'Jarius Sneed's going to lock him down. And man, you don't realize how big the stage is until you get there. And we've seen so many times teams that go up against the Chiefs or some of these veteran teams in the Super Bowl. They're the ones that crack. They're the ones that have the ball's a little loose. It doesn't get the zip on the ball. I mean, I get he's won both games, and hats off to him for getting to the Super Bowl. But I don't think either one of those games you could say were good games for Brock Purdy.
No, I think he played like he had a Trevor Lawrence good game in the second game.
He played below his average,
meaning he had a great second half.
I mean, just look at like his last few games, Brock Purdy, as far as interceptions thrown and interceptable passes. He only threw one against Detroit, but I mean, there were definitely some that left on the table. Like Green Bay game, there were a number left on the table. Now at the Commanders, played a relatively clean game. They won 27, but then the game before that threw 4 against the Ravens. Like he has just been off this playoffs and kind of towards the end of the season. The whole thing with Brock Purdy is like, hey, he plays a clean game. He's efficient. I don't see it. I think they turn it over. Now, sure, you could get screwed by a freak Chiefs fumble, something like that. But I think, I think, Mahomes is going to have a similar game plan of what they did, what they did against the Ravens. They're going to come out firing, move the ball, get the lead, and then maintain the lead. But I'm not going to give away who I like in the game, right? But give me 49ers first turnover plus 105.
No official picks.
No. I will pick a team for the Super Bowl. You will not hear me pass. I will give you final score. I'll give it to you all. Let's go.
All right. So I like that. I like that you went big early. That's you're going to make my bets look like it seem small and not important at all, but I'm going to even give you two at the same time. Going to the first reception market. First one's chalk. I do think if the Chiefs get the ball, it's going to be Kelsey. I think there's almost a certainty in my mind that they're going to do something to Kelsey in the passing game first. So I'm taking that at plus 475, 300 to win 1425. But I'm then also going to sprinkle 33% of that bet on the way back. We'll call it a little bring back. Kyle Juszczyk is 30 to 1 here. I've already gotten down on this at the Circa, which I actually have a price at 24 to 1 for just the Niners first reception. 30 to 1 here for the game.
You have to watch on YouTube the expression Ryan made with his eyes. Just got like two big saucers just looking at that.
This is a very serious situation. I'm going to advise everyone to get this. This will move. Kyle Juszczyk has been the first target of the game for the San Francisco 49ers in 2 of the last 4 games. One was completed against the Ravens, a Super Bowl like atmosphere, and one was not. But he was the first target in 50% of the last 4 games. Seems silly that he's 30 to 1. Seems like a misprice. I'm gonna guess whoever made this market doesn't watch all the games, and the simulations just missed it. So I can tell you right now, Sean, I'm gonna have some serious interest in Kyle Juszczyk this week. I'm gonna be a Kyle Juszczyk guy. Hopefully, maybe we can. I think I'm gonna try to go. We're gonna be out in Vegas for media stuff. I do think I want to get see if we can get to the player podiums. I'd like to ask Kyle Juszczyk a question.
Are you gonna be involved in the passing game for the first catch, Ryan?
Kyle, we've noticed that Kyle likes to use you.
I don't know if we will make it to the player podium because they are doing all the player stuff. They're keeping, this is how, and I don't know if people have followed this story who aren't in the media because you might not care, but they are keeping all the players. Both team hotels are in Lake Las Vegas in Henderson. It's essentially from like where the strip is, where you think of Las Vegas, most people, where the stadium is. It's like a solid 35-40 minutes to Lake Las Vegas. Where it is. That's where they're keeping the players. They're keeping them away from all the casinos.
Is that where the media is going to happen?
That's where the player interviews are happening.
So they're bussing people out
I guess they got to get a shuttle out there. It sounds like a nightmare.
I wonder if are they, because I did see the note on how Goodell's press conference was invite only. But that
salute to you.
Can that's a little weird. We don't that's a little odd. I mean, that also a that's like a dictator move, right?
Yes. Controlling the media. All right,
so
shout out to you.
Travis Kelce plus 475. And then I'm going 1/3 of what I put on Kelsey. People always ask me these questions. Like, I know you put this much on the show. 1/3 goes on Kyle Juszczyk. Although honestly, I think it's going to end up being heavier than that for me. You know, I'm going to update that real time. I think
Kramer, one of my look at my number 8 bet. The calculation, it's not computed.
Oh, did something happen? All right, we'll fix it.
Ryan, I do like your Travis Kelce first reception at plus 475. I may add it as a sprinkle myself, but you know, this is a sports gambling podcast. I'm a gambler. Someone accused me on the show. They're like, "Well, you're a gambler." I'm like, "Yes, I am." So I crunched the numbers, Ryan. I went back.
So real quick, I went 300 to win $9,000 on Kyle Juszczyk. So
let's get it.
Kelsey 300, Juszczyk 300.
For me, and sorry, did I say the San Francisco first turnover plus 105, 1200 to win 1260.
You did, you got it.
For me, I also got in the first reception market. Listen to these last 10 catches for the Kansas City Chiefs: Kelsey, Rice, Kelsey, Gray, Pacheco, Gray, Kelsey, Rice, Pacheco, McKinnon. McKinnon's out. The first attempt was to Noah Gray. I think there's a decent chance. I've seen it many a times with Andy Reid over the years, where Andy Reid, guy, has got that extra week. He's gonna be sitting there in Lake Las Vegas, Ryan, eating his nuggies, thinking of. You can accuse Andy Reid of so much. Getting too cute is certainly one of the things you can accuse him for, and
every time.
And throwing it to Noah Gray for the first reception certainly is a little too cute, and I could totally see Andy Reid doing it. I just said in this now, McKinnon, they did attempt it to Gray, so 2 of the times it hit for Gray, and then once they attempted to get it to him, so that's almost 30% where they tried to get him that first target. At 16-1, I like the odds. I also do think, and we'll get into when we talk about the first rushing market and then the first reception. Now, these ones that we're playing, these are from DK, where you'll see that I think there's a little more value in playing the first reception stuff towards the Chiefs and the first rush stuff to the 49ers.
Why do you think that is?
I guess because I could see a world where, let's say you believe the coin toss is even. You're one of those, and you'd think, all right, it's 50-50 Chiefs 49ers start with the ball first. I could see a world where the Chiefs go 3 and out without running the ball, versus if the 49ers have the ball first, they're definitely going to be attempting a rush those first 3 plays.
Yeah, that's probably,
it's just a small, I don't think it's something you're definitely going to do in your hand. Don't go crazy. And obviously compare, like, DK doesn't have the odds that Ryan was mentioning for like first team reception. I do think those will be up later in the week. So obviously I would like Noah Gray first team reception. I think Circa had that at 9-1, but we'll just go first reception overall here. 16-1, 200 to win, 3,200.
Yeah. Well, so I guess if you think about it from the perspective of, like, I actually think both markets are very interesting, because I think the books think it's very concentrated. So like, if you think about it, I mean, again, using who I played in the receptions market and even who you played in the receptions market, like no one we gave out. Like, so Kelsey is the chalk. Kelsey's the obvious play. If you look at the way that targets are distributed on the Chiefs, it's very obviously a trio of Rice, Kelsey, and Pacheco, with a smattering of Noah Gray, Watson, whoever else the other guy is. I think when you look at carries, it's like, well, it's Isaiah Pacheco. CEH comes in from time to time because Andy Reid has like a coach's son thing with him.
Yes.
But then the Niners, it's the same thing. It's like they have the 2 cute players, but for the most part, it's this concentrated group of guys. Now, it allows for it allows for these prices to kind of be a little silly. With Juszczyk, it allows them to be silly. With Noah, like, for example, the fact that Noah Gray is 16-1 for the first reception, Kyle Juszczyk is 30-1. That doesn't match. Like, even from that angle, that doesn't match up. Like, Noah Gray is probably fairly priced, maybe a little short, but Kyle Juszczyk, I mean, should be way closer to him. Anyway, first rush, I'll jump over there. A similar angle.
No, and I do like I like the Juszczyk stuff. We're gonna get into it more, but yeah, I like that angle too.
Yeah, same. So yeah, Rush kind of playing it a slightly similar way, where, to your point on the market observations, you didn't realize you had market observations, but you did. My observations were I like the chalk for Kansas City and I like the long shot stuff for the Niners, because I do think Kyle Shanahan has more 2 cute potential than Andy Reid based on who they trust. I just think the Chiefs trust these 3 guys. And so I have Kelsey in the receiving game. I will play Pacheco plus 115. Again, going to go with a $300 chunk on that. So larger, but then I'm going to bring it back 2 times with 2.
Ryan, real quick, just for reference, I don't know how much you want to take into this, but Who was Patrick Mahomes' first pass attempt in the Super Bowl when the 49ers played the Chiefs?
I don't know. I actively have tried to avoid that information.
Wow. All right. Do you? Well, for the audience who may just find it interesting, Damian Williams. They did back to back.
Oh wow.
Patrick Mahomes started off with a passing complete short left intended for Damian Williams. Of course, we cashed there, Ryan. Well, actually, it was Damian Williams rush first, then incomplete pass for Damian Williams, then another incomplete pass for Damian Williams. His first completion ended up being to Tyreek Hill.
So, and Damian, if I'm not mistaken, Damian Williams was the guy that postseason, right?
Yeah, he was kind of probably like like what Pacheco.
Yeah, he would have been Pacheco. I do think, not to say CEH has no value, but I think his value lies in other stuff. First rush. So again, bringing it back I'm building these. I want to get both sides just like I do with first touchdown, but I'm not playing chalk on both sides. Again, if the Chiefs get the ball, I'm lined up with chalk. I'm sitting there with a 6 and an 8 and a nice 9 on the pass line, and I'm ready to start getting paid. But the Niners, I want to get the cute stuff out there. So I'm running back Kyle Juszczyk, 90-1 first rush.
Yes.
I'm
with you.
I don't believe in this one as much, but he's going to be out there. And again, he's a guy they trust. It's a cute way to get on the ball. And maybe that pass is imagine it's a backward pass, Sean, and we don't have rush.
Oh,
so we got to get that. And then I'm going to sprinkle Debo. I considered making this Ray McLeod. He's 100-1. He certainly is a fun reverse guy, but again, it's the Super Bowl. You give this, if you're going to run a stupid ass play to the receiver to start a Super Bowl, you give it to Debo. Don't overthink it. 19-1. Both those guys are getting 100. So 100 to win $9,000 on Juszczyk, 100 to win 1,900 on Debo, and Isaiah Pacheco 300 to win 345. Some would see that as a little. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna in real time. Pacheco's going to 500.
And of course, if you want access to the Super Bowl sheets, college basketball, we do post the links in the Patreon. So easy way to get a full snapshot. We'll rattle them off for the pod listeners, of course, but easy. If you just want to print them out and stare at them for the next 6 days, like I'll be doing.
Yes, please.
I'm with you, Ryan. I stole your Juszczyk, and I think you kind of stole my Debo. But I mean,
that's fair. It's sharing is caring.
No, to
58 bets, so we're gonna copy it.
Yes, Debo definitely has some value here at 19-1. Not only do you get the bubble screen, you get a guy that they could be getting involved very, very early. Also, too, it's just like Christian McCaffrey. At the price, I just don't see much value there. And Kyle Shanahan started off with what was it? Tevin Coleman. Last time they played the Super Bowl, only had 5 catches. You know who was second? The second guy he gave a handoff to. Very next play, Deebo Samuel for 32 yards. So if I'm Kyle Shanahan,
Coleman, man.
Yeah, why was he getting looks? Who knows?
Well, because it's Shanahan. They just roll him out there, Yeah. All right. So
yeah, I'm with you. I mean, again, the Debo stuff is just one. He's a guy. He's almost like a jump shooter. I feel like they want to see him. They want to get him going. He's like a guy that feeds off contact too. I could see them wanting to get him involved a little bit. And Juszczyk is just a fun, tricky one to settle Brock Purdy, who's going to be certainly nervous with the turnover incoming.
Yeah, sir. That was the other angle, and I'll save that for later. But certainly the quarterback runs are interesting angles here. I got one more first.
Okay.
Both teams complete their first pass. No.
Ooh.
It's even money.
Okay. Well, because we always like to bet these separate and then even parlay them.
Well, so
this is like almost a round robin. You just need one of them not to hit.
Exactly. So you're getting an either.
Now,
or.
Ryan, I'm sure you did the math. What is better, betting these two individually or betting this prop?
Well, so right now, as it's being dealt, you have it's down to 180, I believe, for Purdy, and
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Brock Purdy incompletion, first pass complete, is plus 180.
Plus 180,
and then Mahomes is what, 205?
plus 210.
Plus 210.
So even if you just dumb average it and don't do the over calculation,
yes,
even money would be a better price because it would be like 1.95 divided by 2. So it's slightly better.
So
to
you
play
see it
this
at
way.
okay, because I thought I saw it at +1 or -120, but maybe that was yes. No, that wouldn't make sense.
I think both opened. I think if we were sharps, if we were true sharps, we would have been able to get both at north of plus 200. I think the Purdy prop immediately got smashed down by the sharps that wait in line and then all they print the sheets out and then they're allowed to make bets one at a time. I think those numbers got smashed down.
Ryan Dirt McGirt saying any player to have a 60 plus receiving yards on FanDuel. He clarifies by saying a 60 plus yard reception. Do you like that? Plus 475.
I'm gonna guess there's probably better ways to make that wager. What type of plays are we talking about? Who's going to be doing that type of play? You can probably same game parlay that in a better way. Whether maybe you think it's Ayuk to have, blah and a touch. A 60-yard play is a touchdown. So figure out what that is.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. That's a fun way to do it. And to Dirt's point, maybe to Ryan's point, maybe look at some alt longest catch and take those individually for some of the players, parlay it with a touchdown. Like there's a couple guys I could see doing this. MVS, I think Debo because of the catch and run aspect. I don't think there's a ton. Maybe plus
475. It feels like your same game parlays, even for a chalky guy to have a massive play, that the whether you're playing the alts or you're just playing total yards or you're playing the alts on the longest pass, I think, and you're putting it with a touchdown, I think you're probably finding a better way. I wouldn't play that one. That also feels like the kind of thing they put at the top of the page.
Yeah, just be careful. If it's a special, the fix is in. But I like where Dirt's at.
There's a lot of
plus
science.
475, but plus 475, you do get the field, right?
True, yeah. Very true. But there's a lot of science that goes into figuring out what to do with those pixels that you see immediately on a website. Use that information accordingly. All right.
For me, my last first, and we'll talk some game leader stuff. First kickoff touchback. No. They're going to bring it out plus 300. I'm seeing $500 to win 1,500. Now this is old school handicapping. It's a Super Bowl. These guys want to run the ball back. They don't want to wave and oh hey, it's Super Bowl in Las Vegas. If there's no risk it, no biscuit. The ultimate. They've been sitting there looking at those bright lights. Thinking about rolling dice, about letting it ride. We are in Sin City. You don't play it safe in Sin City. Last 32 kickoffs, only 4 have been touchbacks. Now, last two have been touchbacks. The rule about how you can fair catch for a touchback essentially has changed this price, but San Francisco 49ers bottom half of the league for touchbacks at 62.39%. And some of these teams don't try. They don't necessarily try and kick it deep. They try and kick it high. I think there's a number of scenarios where they're going to try and return it, at least at the price. And it's just fun to root for. Like, come on, it's the first play of the game. No one wants a touchback. Give me a little plus 300 sprinkle, 500 to win 1,500.
It's this weird handicap because I actually kind of looked into this. The better kicker is kicking to the team more likely to run the ball out. And the kicker that's more likely to leave it short is kicking to the team that would more likely still take the touchback in that scenario. Very sneaky. Because I think you're right.
Ryan Chuck Kramer over here.
I don't necessarily think you play the chalk. Like I said, I think you maybe attack it with a yard or like an over under where the starting line's going to be. I don't respect either one of these teams' return games. After doing my special teams film watching session, not interested.
All right, Ryan, we got game leaders. We got so much more. Of course, have you guys signed up over on Cut? Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's available in 40 different states. The ultimate, put your money where your mouth is. Hey, if you got some fun Super Bowl props that I see Nick Fortune in there. I know he's a 49ers fan. Maybe he wants to send some Super Bowl props my way over on Cut. I'm always down for a fun challenge, a little cut duel.
Well, maybe
Get out your sword, go head to head. Kramer is.
I might list something right now.
Yeah, and shout out to Cody Zeeb. He worked up a whole a bunch of Super Bowl props. And if you have, let's say you're hosting a Super Bowl party, you and your buddies want to go on each side of a prop bet. Hit up Cut, ask him to get it listed, and you get the 10% deposit bonus. Just head over to kutt.com or download Cut in the App Store. Use the promo code SGPN. They did reach out. They said a number of people just write in all caps, sports gambling podcast, tennis gambling, whatever. You have to write SGPN. I know it's tough to remember. Every promo code's either SGP or SGPN. In this case, SGPN. And download Cut. Ryan, we're also brought to you by Prize Picks. Oh man, Prize Picks for the Super Bowl. Are you kidding me? prizepicks.com/SGPN. Daily fantasy made simple. I mean, during the week, you can fire off some college basketball, some NBA. Love firing on these entries. The last one we did with Colby, that one was a sweet cash. And they even have these 99% off entries. This one, I don't know when it expires, but good reason to get set up over there. They have some bonus Ryan Patrick Mahomes, a half pass yards. You can go more or less. I would probably lean more here. My model's showing more. Now they don't let you put a ton on it. But again, those are just some of the fun things you there. And they also have demon mode, goblin mode for kind of non-standard payouts. You can win up to 100x. prizepicks.com/SGPN, promo code SGPN.
Love the demons and the goblins. My model actually says I should pass on that yardage projection.
Yes.
A half. It's a little controversial, but I'll stick to it. All right. So moving along to some game leaders, Sean. I'll let you. I think you have some more positions here, so I'll let you fire first. But I saved my big whale plays for the end.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man.
So you don't ruin the nice reveal.
For me, most receiving yards. Travis Kelce you can get right now
Son of a bitch.
Plus 300. I'm putting 1,000 on there to win 3,000. I mean, just Travis Kelce, guy he trusts. The volume is there. I think we may be talking about him for possible MVP because I think the narrative is there. As much as the media,
hot.
You think that's a hot take?
That's hot.
As much as the media loves a good
Showtime Mahomes,
they love them some Travis Kelce. I mean, to me, Travis Kelce gets 2 touchdowns, and I think he's going to be in the mix for this. You saw, I mean, AFC Championship game. Who do you give it to? The MVP, right?
Mahomes.
Really?
Every time.
Okay. Ryan's a little more cynical. I dare to dream.
I love Travis Kelce, but Mahomes
11 for 116. I'm saying if he gets a second touchdown, if you're betting Travis Kelce 2 touchdowns, I think you bet Travis Kelce MVP.
If he's got any other quarterback, the quarterback's not even making half those throws. So it's like I get the angle. I went through. I did some manual simulations of the game.
But receiving yards, I still Ayuk's the favorite.
Yeah,
I think L'Jarius,
horrible market. How they're pricing Ayuk the favorite.
L'Jarius Sneed, I think, is gonna be able to handle him. I think some of the stuff the Chiefs are gonna quote unquote let them do or hope they do. It's not gonna be beat with Ayuk. I think Sneed's gonna shadow him. I think, and on the other side, I think Kelce. At plus 300, ton of value because just the targets are bonkers. You saw a switch get flipped in the playoffs. I mean, the Ravens have a good defense. I was told Kyle Hamilton, very good safety, and still 11 for 116. He is his guy, and that was 100% efficiency. Plus, Taylor's dropping a new album, and Ryan, maybe the voters will want to send a stern message to Patrick Mahomes' dad, who Just got popped for a DUI.
Is he playing in the game? I'm sorry. Is he playing in the game?
He might.
So if last year Kelsey didn't exactly go bonkers, but I would say if you look at some of the previous years and just in the postseason in general, it's funny. He's played. This is his fourth Super Bowl. He's had 2 games where he was targeted 6 times, caught the ball 6 times, and he had 1 game where he had 15 targets and 10 catches.
Yeah.
And so in the 10 catch 133 yard game, that's what we're looking for.
That's what you need. Yeah. And Ryan, what do you think the game leader, because we were talking about this at the airport Starbucks while our flight was delayed.
Yeah.
What do you think the passing leader ends up hitting?
Like number of yards?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm also on this. I tried to give you a hint that I was saving this one for the end, but you just stomped right through the gates. I got this one for bigger than you, 1,500 to win 4,500.
Oh, I thought your mega whale play was the McCaffrey.
Well, yeah, 2 mega whale plays.
Oh, okay.
2 mega whale plays. But the Kelsey one
It's
already
a
got
baby fucking wheel, man.
the Circa had at least on Friday had this at plus 310. I've already gotten down a significant piece of my investment on. This is so to answer your question. I think one, comparing this price to the 100-yard ladder, I think Kelsey is probably fair. I don't think he needs 100 yards to get this. I think this could end up being a situation where both teams have success on the ground and we don't have anyone that stands out. Maybe it's a 70, 80, 85-yard type game. That's why I mean, that this market is pretty foolproof. In a game they lose, in a low scoring game they lose, in a high scoring game they lose. Like a lot of versions of this game, Kelsey's could be involved. And I don't think Ayuk again. I think Ayuk priced higher than him or lower than him in the market means we're going to be able to get Kelsey versus Ayuk stuff where Kelsey's the dog. Love that. And when you look at the overall market, like who's the other receiver where you're like, yeah, it's probably Rashee Rice. To me, the more that I think about it, because it directly impacts his targets, I think Rice is the guy that I would be scared of the most. I think Debo beating Kelsey is going to be a pretty significant long shot to me, as would Kittle. Kittle's probably the second most interesting after Rice, but I'm not playing anyone else. I'm smashing this one. This is more fun to me than playing Kelsey overs. This is a Kelsey over to me. And I think when we get to the Chiefs episode, I'll find a way to get some Kelsey stuff in, but it won't be the yardage over. That's for sure. People have asked if we're going to be doing ladders for the team episodes.
Oh, that's great.
We will be including a ladder. It's only going to count as one prop though, just so everyone knows.
We got to get CJ involved. Shout out to CJ. He's been a little under the weather. Hopefully get him back soon. I don't know. I'm not sure if hopefully he makes it out to Vegas. I know he's.
I was thinking, worst case we could get maybe an audio recording.
Video message from CJ. People love the ladders. People love CJ. Why would you not? CJ's the man. So hopefully get him back on the show soon, Ryan. But yeah, where are you at?
So
what else you got?
So Kelsey 3-1. We agree. This is probably one of the strongest plays and strongest agreements you could possibly hear from us over the next week of shows. All right, I'll jump into a couple of another couple darts I'm throwing out there. They have these really delightful most rushing yards in the first quarter props. And unlike Super Bowl squares, we were breaking down. A lot of places now offer the ability to buy into a squares market, and we were kind of breaking this down on VSiN, Sean, where it seems you want to avoid variance early in the square, so first quarter avoid it. In the counting stats, it's the complete opposite. Way more variance can happen. Only a quarter of the game. Unlikely to have balanced possession, so one team's going to have a clear advantage here. And Sean, it's early in a Super Bowl. What happened? Maybe Brock Purdy gets a little jittery with the feet. He starts scrambling a bit. There's not a lot that happens in the first quarter. Brock Purdy to have the most rushing yards in the first quarter is 35-1. Put 100 on that to win 3,500. I'm also, this almost feels like a system play. I'm also going to take Mahomes, although his price is 850, Sean, which I also like for the same reasons, right? It's a variance play. Mahomes is not afraid to run, unlike Lamar, who's the irony of him, Lamar being afraid to use his legs, unlike Patrick Mahomes. So both of those guys, 100 each, 850 for Mahomes. Brock Purdy is 35 to 1.
Ryan, should we tell him what happened?
The slot. How's the slot?
Well, the slot machine. There was a little update from our post VSiN trip on Friday night.
We can talk about it.
I was playing as the Chiefs. Yes. Ryan was playing as the 49ers.
Yes.
I ended up walking away with some cash. Now, granted, I was down and then I hit some nice bonuses. I think I ended up walking with like $10. Then went on an awesome blackjack run. That could be a whole other story where I was just pressing at the right time.
Sean looks at me and goes, "You got some blackjack in you?" Sure.
Yes.
Honestly, I wasn't 10 out of 10 gambling, but I did. We hit had a good roller coaster at the slot with the Niners. I would say if you're one to look into maybe this is some sort of future seeing machine, there was a lot of defensive highlights shown to me as the Niners. A lot of defensive highlights,
but ultimately they were losers, correct?
I would say I first had a bad start, but then had a very nice run. So hard to tell exactly what's going to happen. But what I can tell you is I am a winner, regardless of what the slot machine told you, because I got up. I kind of, when things aren't, I'm not exactly into playing slots, and I'm not a Niners fan, so these fucking highlights aren't stimulating. And I once again got the bonus and only got the $15 fucking. So I'm like, all right, if I get down to 200, I'm just going to take my ticket and leave. So I grab the ticket, I snatch my water, and I storm off. And then you're like, yeah, we want to play some blackjack. So we go play blackjack. And I realize as I'm going to cash out, oh man, where's my phone? Oh, I must have left it at the blackjack table.
That's right.
So I go back to the blackjack table. Nope, not there. We did have an awesome dealer who insisted that Sean, instead of saying he wanted his cards face down, she had Sean saying he wanted his cards ass up. It was fucking amazing.
Well, because it was this kind of like sassy black chick dealer. Great
she was
dealer.
Awesome. 10 out of 10.
Very fun. Very like, you want a little back and forth from your blackjack dealer.
You know what else she did? She slow rolled. She kept the game going very slow for the players.
And then she goes.
We won't tell Derek that though.
When she told me you want an ass up.
Sean's like, what? I
go, yeah. And then so when I had my next double down, I go, and I would like it ass up, please. I think there was some sort of I said ass up, which to me means face down. But when I asked for it for ass up, she actually did the card up. There was a little bit of miscommunication. It ended up being a 10, so I doubled on the 11, and so I wasn't going to correct her. But ass up. And I don't want to be rude. You don't want to be rude to the dealer.
Well, they might get mad. You're cursing. There's clear rules about it. Like there's very few rules in casinos, but cursing at a blackjack dealer is not not allowed. So
Parlay Prince in the chat saying 49ers missed kick ladder. Yeah.
Wow. Does that even exist?
If they're pricing that, all right, Moody to have a bad game.
I didn't see any missed kick highlights. So I'm like, oh shit. And then I remember, oh motherfucker, there's that charger on the slot machine that I had put my phone down.
Yeah, Ryan goes, you can charge your phone while you're here, and I'm like, my phone has charge. Did it actually charge? Because I feel like you normally need to get some other thing. My
phone was low. I got probably like I was there long enough to get like 40%.
That's how they keep you there.
Well, so I'm like, all right, maybe it's at the slot machine. So in my head, I'm like, well, A, those slot machines are popular as hell, so it's probably gone. And 2, I had tried to use the feature on my watch that allows you to like play a sound, and it was like iPhone not available. And I'm like, oh no. So I walk over there and I'm like, fuck. But there happen to be 2 security guards, and Sean and I are there every Friday now.
Oh, we know the guys.
So they don't come up to me and say, hey, I know who you. But they're like, oh yeah, I see you here all the time. Let me just walk you into the back of the casino. So we go into this like completely.
Imagine the stuff they find back there.
Well, here's what's crazy, Sean. We're there every week. There is a completely invisible door next to the cage that I went through. It just looks like the wall. And he walked up. He stuck a magnet thing up to it. Clicked open. We walked inside, and it was like I'm pretty sure I wasn't supposed to be back there.
No.
And he's like, yeah, hey, he calls the guy over. He's like, you got any phones back there?
Oh,
he pulls it out and he goes, "Describe to me your phone." I'm like, "It's." I go, "It's black. It's got a bulletproof case, and my face will unlock it."
Bulletproof case.
And he's like, "Huh?" And
Ryan, you're watching too much Jack Reacher.
He pulls my phone up and he taps it. He's like, "All right," and he gives it to me to unlock. So, yeah, I got I guess pretty lucky because immediately I was like, "Oh shit, my boarding pass is on there. This is gonna be a huge pain in the ass." But no, found the phone back. So my immediate thought was like, "Oh shit."
Well, yeah, Ryan.
I'm about to go on a heater this week in props.
Gave me his chip to cash in, and I was at the cashier, and then I'm like, "Where the fuck did you go?"
Well, I had an emergency.
Yeah,
I realized I didn't have a phone anymore. Anyway,
all right. Getting back to it, most rushing yards for me, Isaiah Pacheco plus 170. I think I in the same way I thought Montgomery was going to have a big game for the Lions. I think Isaiah Pacheco, and this is even easier path for me. Isaiah Pacheco on the ground, Isaiah Pacheco in the air, his total rush receiving yards. I like him to just have a good game. You can attack this team on the ground. Now, who knows if Reed will have the patience to stick with him on the ground. But I think him or Christian McCaffrey is not quite a coin flip. I think him at Isaiah Pacheco at plus 170. I like that price. To me, Ryan, my model shows this at plus 145. So I'll take the free.
I mean,
25 cents.
Yeah, this market to me was like very hard to be interested in because there's like another one that's fairly correlated. And once you get past McCaffrey huge minus favorite, then it's like Mahomes, Elijah Mitchell, CEH. You're just playing backup. So yeah, if I was playing this market, it would be Pacheco or nothing. Because to me, if the Chiefs win, I think he's favored over McCaffrey to have in the rushing yards market. To me, if you knew the outcome of the game and the Chiefs win, Pacheco's minus 150 over McCaffrey at least.
Game Time. Have you signed up over on Game Time yet? What are you waiting for? I mean, maybe you're still trying to make it to the Super Bowl. Game Time is your place for last minute tickets. If you are someone who's got that kind of cash laying around, you want to make sure you still get the best deal because Game Time last minute tickets and their best price guarantee. So you can stop stressing over tickets and start getting hyped for the fun you'll have. If you can find better tickets, same row, same section for less, Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Now, obviously tickets to the Super Bowl, not cheap, but imagine firing on it and knowing you're backed up with the Game Time guarantee. The last thing you want is you spend all this money on tickets. You're spending like $5,000 to get to the Super Bowl, and the guy next to you paid $3,500. That is the last thing you want. And promo code SGPN, get $20 off your first purchase. Again, terms apply. Create the account, redeem the code SGPN. You can download the Game Time app or just go to gametime.co. Perfect for college basketball too. Like you want to get your rain slicker out, get ready to storm a court, head to gametime.co or use the promo code SGPN in the Game Time app. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. I mean, this is a month to sign up for Hall of Fame Bets, right? Get in for the Super Bowl. You're going to be putting together some same game parlays. You need Hall of Fame Bets revolutionary parlay optimizer. Get the hit rates broken down by leg, expected probability for the entire parlay. Download the Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Use the promo code SGPN. Get 50% off your first month. Bet smarter, not harder. HallOfFameBets.com.
I got to be honest.
HOFBets.com, sir.
Trolling around the Game Time, looking at ticket prices.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would. I mean, the upper deck prices are pretty wild relative to the lower bowl. Like
the problem is, anytime I've considered going to the Super Bowl, which certainly would be a once in a lifetime experience. I definitely want to go to one. Game Time. Ryan and I would make it in our schedule. We would avail ourselves if you guys wanted to give us free tickets to the Super Bowl, but every time, and producer Josh has the exact same message in the chat. If someone said, would you like free tickets to the Super Bowl, or let's say $5,000 as a free bet, I'm taking the $5,000 bet every single time. I'll watch the game on my fucking phone if you give me 5,000 free bet. Like,
there was this.
I would watch it on the TV, but you know what I'm saying? Like,
there's this legendary story.
The experience would be way more exciting having $5,000 on it than just going to the game itself.
This guy I was like kind of in our group of friends in college was like legendarily cheap. And there was this story that his dad, he was a child, like let's just say high school age, got him tickets to see Michael Jordan take on the Wizards. Michael Jordan, best basketball player, right? They get to the stadium. He goes, "Dad, these are my tickets, right? It was a birthday present." Like, "Yeah, son." And he scalped the tickets. So maybe he had the same idea.
Well,
fuck this game. I want to go gamble.
To me, my approach in general for money is like, hey, I want experiences. So it slightly contradicts that, but betting $5,000 on one Super Bowl bet is certainly a fun experience in and of itself.
Yes. All right, you want to? I have one left. I've already given out.
Okay, I'll I originally had most receptions Travis Kelce, but I kept coming back. Like I didn't love the price. He's the chalk. It's at +155.
That's why we like the receiving yards better.
It's the receiving yards
price.
at 3-1. It's a better price, similar handicap. Most receptions, Isaiah Pacheco. I keep coming back to, and maybe Pacheco ends up his receiving yards end up being my ladder. I don't think he has it in him to have the most receiving yards, but most receptions. He already hit his career high 7 receptions on December 31st, a game the Chiefs needed. You look at in general the way to attack the 49ers. You saw it with some of the stuff the Lions did. They're not great to receiving running backs. They actually led up the 8th most receiving yards to the running back in the National Football League. Isaiah Pacheco, most receptions. Now this is a small sprinkle, but 25-1, he gets you $200 to win $5,000, and then maybe I'm going to the next year's Super Bowl. Just kidding. I would keep gambling, but Ryan, is this kind of makes sense?
Don't hate it. I did see they opened McKinnon's window to return.
Okay, well,
when I saw that news from Rappaport, I go, "You sons of bitches!"
I've kind of always had McKinnon as being out for the rest of the season. Some of this stuff, I guess, we'll wait and see if he's actually practicing.
Well, Sean, do you not have some best ball exposure to McKinnon?
I think I actually do, yeah. But the one best ball team that I had that advanced to the final round, which was pretty sweet because I still got $500. It was all Lions and like Jerick McKinnon. So I mean, Lions. If the Lions got in, and if Khalif Raymond played, I would have had like a decent shot at that thing.
And McKinnon on the bring back.
Yeah. So look out.
No one would be duping you.
So David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs had 5 total catches against the 49ers. I mean, I think him getting that 7 catches, I think is somewhat realistic. And if you
what
get
was
7,
the price?
25-1. If you get 7 catches, to me, you are kind of at least in the mix here.
Yeah, I don't. Because what's his? Interesting. The receiving yards is 40-1. Receptions 25-1.
I don't see the receiving yards.
I see your. McKinnon's 40-1 on both markets. I mean, they certainly use him. He's probably underrated.
Yeah, but to your point, Ryan, if McKinnon, so keep an eye on this one, because if McKinnon plays, I'm gonna have to probably not use that ladder and not fire as heavy on the receiving stuff, because if he's playing, it is to get him involved in the passing game.
Yeah, and I think we should be shot. Like, let's make sure we shop this the Niner or the Chiefs reception price.
Okay.
Because I do, as much as we like Kelce, it is also kind of an interesting hedge to bring back someone else. Although if McKinnon's healthy, he would be a much more interesting play for me. All right, my last one.
Well, Ryan, I'll give out one more.
All right.
Because the last one you're giving out, I also like. And so that was 200 to win $5,000. Isaiah Pacheco, most receptions 25-1. Most punt return yards, Richie James, revenge game. He has the higher per average, and it's a revenge game spot. And I do think the Chiefs are going to be fielding more punts than the 49ers. Now, Ryan is a hater of Richie James.
No, that's not true.
No, you don't.
My take is that Ray McLeod is a better athlete than Richie James.
Okay.
And that Richie James, like, to me, he's working with a fair catch. Maybe if he's returning it, you're like, holy shit, he's gonna fumble. That's how I feel about Richie James.
That sounds like a hater. This is just a small -110. Putting 300 on it to win.
You saw the market and had to play it. I mean, the fact that they included it
just because I want a little action on the punt. Okay, call me a DJ. I want a little action on the punt.
What would be more fun, playing their heads up for first punt return, or total punt return yards?
Oh, because which one?
Like, yeah, I mean, I assume that any market that you put these guys against each other. So first punt return, length of first punt return, Richie James versus. Yeah. I feel like that would be a more degenerate bet because it's quick.
True.
It's a nice first quarter.
It might not be, because to your point, Ryan, a lot of fair catches would keep pushing it down the line.
Yeah, I do. If you were telling me to handicap which team has more total kick and punt returns, barring some sort of blowout in the game or one team's kicking off a ton, I think it's gonna be very few. I'd say like 3.5, 4.5 total returns. I think we're gonna see a lot of fair catches and touchbacks. All right, so do we still have the dump truck music?
No, we have the ladder, which kind of sounds like. I mean, it is a fire truck sound effect.
Since we did want to extend the olive branch to the rest of the industry, who's just staring right at us, we figured, why not make one of our biggest plays on this show a -200 favorite, because it's just too damn easy. They offer a receptions plus rush attempts market, and McCaffrey is only I say this only -200.
Yeah,
I don't understand how he loses out on this. And maybe, Sean, this is like your Pacheco receptions is a great hedge, because one of the ways I guess he could lose out is Pacheco getting like 8 catches.
Yeah.
But McCaffrey -200, putting 2,300 on this,
and
one,
it's just rush attempts. It's nothing, and
rushes and receptions.
Yeah.
And to me, we just look back to the Packers game, or I'm sorry, the Lions game, in a game where they were trailing most of the game. He still had 20 carries. He still had 5 receptions. I think if they're down, if you think the Chiefs are going to get up and try to lean on them and lean on the running game, McCaffrey becomes interesting in the receiving game. And so,
I think it's, to your point, Ryan, if they're up, they're going to be feeding McCaffrey on the ground. If they're down, their Chiefs could be sitting back defensively and some easy short stuff to Christian McCaffrey.
And it's like, and
he's going to have a certain number of design catches.
So McCaffrey is -200. Pacheco is +160. Who I think he's going to see less targets. He's probably going to see less overall volume. They bring CEH in, randomly, which is weird. Again, coach's son situation. But the next guy, McKinnon, 60-1, Debo 90-1, and then it's Jordan Mason and CEH at 90-1. So Purdy's 100-1. Are you kidding me?
It's bonkers.
I'm
with you. I also have this, because even though it's -200, it's.
Why isn't it -5? I get it, because it's Pacheco, because there's injuries.
Yeah.
But unless the Niners are completely shut down, we're going to be sitting at the half with like 13 or 14 touches, and there's no way. I just don't see the world where Pacheco has that many touches at the half, unless they've completely just I think you've kind of highlighted how we lose this one, and they get out physicaled, and they control the line of scrimmage. They slow there's only a couple of possessions, or there's fewer possessions, and they just never see the full volume.
Yeah. Because
even if they're losing, if they have the plays, McCaffrey, they just give him so much easy shit. So much easy shit. If you over under, I saw this total as well, over under 23.5 touches for McCaffrey. Does that not seem like an easy over? It was -125, but
yeah, I mean,
which do you like better?
It's interesting. That is interesting, Ryan.
Because at minus 200, it's like we would move it down to like 20.5. I'd almost rather play an all total. Now that I'm talking, but
let's do a little more shopping in the old DK cart.
Got down on a couple variations of this already at the Circa with some McCaffrey volume props. So yeah, I'm unfortunately settling into a place where I think I'm going to be friendly with Katie for the week. Not officially yet. Not officially.
Stay tuned.
And other Niners fans, not just Katie, I should say. And all people who are faithful to the Bay. By the way, Sean, we didn't bring it up yet, but shout out to any of the Chiefs fans who are listening or watching us in one of the short-term living lots around Las Vegas. Lot of people coming with their campers,
RVs,
and trailers and RVs.
That's our people,
saving some money, trying to rip you off with these 10x hotel room prices. Let me park in this lot. I'll get my gambling in. By the way, they got horse stables down at the South Point.
Right.
You're into that?
I actually went camping last night. Went to Malibu Creek.
In season camping, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't have to wake up and do the pregame show. Felt like, we're going to be in Vegas a lot. Wife likes camping, so good. And I like camping as well. So took the dogs, went camping. The number of RVs, as you'd there's some RVs. It's your typical car camping, but the setup there is actually really nice. Like we're talking about 10 o'clock at night. There's a group across from us. They have an RV and then they have a minivan. I don't know what the dynamic was. There was 2, maybe 3 people. Like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh no!
You just hear this minivan door open. And someone just starts just hurling Buicks, just, and I'm just laughing. Like, what do we? And they weren't partying. It wasn't like they were super loud no. I mean, they must have been, unless she randomly got the stomach flu.
Drugs,
yeah, maybe they were
close quarters. It's a little humid. You get the mushrooms.
The guy was. We were talking about dead for a while, so I don't know.
That's funny you brought that up. It we had a similar situation. We were hanging out in. Of course, we were in a nice. We had a situation where there was a hot tub or something like it. And property next door, which far enough to make it think it was an animal at first, but turned out someone was puking. At first I'm like, are there fucking bears out here? Like what is that noise? That's all I got. I mean, I didn't go camping last night. I slept like a baby, Sean. Yep. If people care, I did. People did some quality deep sleeping last night.
Wondering about your sleep score.
Well, I'm jealous. I haven't had any Super Bowl dreams yet.
2,000 to win, 1,000 for me on the McCaffrey minus 200. Real quick, rattle off all my plays here. First reception, Noah Gray plus 1,600. First rush, Debo at 19 to 1. First kickoff, touchback, no 3 to 1. 49ers first turnover plus 105. First rush attempt, use check 90 to 1. The McCaffrey rush attempts and receptions minus 200. Pacheco plus 170 most rush yards. Kelsey receiving yards plus 300. Most receptions, Isaiah Pacheco 25 to 1. Most punt returns, Richie James. Kramer, what do you got?
Well, I was just copying a link. We got a Super Bowl props podcast sheet for the Patreon coming out. So you don't got to scroll all through all those regular season tabs. All right, and you get Josh's picks, which we will not say on the show. The very top secret what producer Josh is betting on. First reception market, I took use check at 30 to 1, 300 to win $9,000. Kelsey plus 475, 300 to win 1425. First rush market, I went Pacheco heavy, 500 to win 575. Debo, just like you, 100 to win 1,900 and 90 to 1 on Kyle. It's a Kyle use check kind of Super Bowl. Imagine if he hits first rush and reception.
Oh,
I will be very visibly aroused. 100 to win.
You got to play both, I think.
Oh, what?
Because if he starts out the game,
I will be. This is perfect because I am 3 to 1 invested right now, and I might even get a little bit more when we go back to the Circa. Kyle Juszczyk is my guy. All right, then I got both teams to complete their first pass. No is even money, so another 500 to win 500 there. I think that's a slightly better. We'll talk about the individual players because I think I'll just double dip on that one. And then most rushing yards in the first quarter, shot a couple darts out at the quarterbacks. Mahomes 100 to win 850, Purdy 100 to win 3,500, and the mega whale plays. Almost feel like
it's a baby fucking wheel, man.
Almost feel like Vegas Dave. He kind of pioneered this craft for all these young like shitheads to copy. If you've ever seen the Vegas Dave has some like 10-minute well-produced commercials about himself that are like a documentary. I have not seen that with some of these new age Twitter cappers. Receiving yards, most in the game. Travis Kelce 3-1. Give me 1,500 on that one to win 4,500. Sean, I can proudly tell you I'm already 50% of the way down to this number early in the week. I keep buying it up. I think I'm going to save 500 to buy up a paper ticket at the end, but I think this price is going to start going down. And then the chalk donkey play of the Super Bowl for us. I don't think this is probably the only minus 200 play I'm going to give out for the rest of the shows.
Oh, you did like first kickoff touchback, Ryan.
It's not on my list here. I was giving you the handicap as to why I'm worried you're just chasing a dog.
I like dogs,
and I'm just saying it's kind of one of those weird puzzles where it's hard to make it fit. McCaffrey minus 200, 2,300 to win 1,150.
Shout out to Jay Will. Congrats to Jay Will. You just scored yourself a $50 SGPN gift card. Email us podcast@sportsgamblingpodcast.com to claim it for this review of the Apple Podcast. It's just the Italian fingers for this subject.
I didn't approve this.
5 stars, the go-to. Ryan and Sean and the SGPN crew bring a great blend of entertainment and sports knowledge. Whatever you're looking for, the SGPN network will have it. Shout out to you, Jay Will. Hit us up. We will get you that that gift card. And
I gotta be honest, Sean, that was not. The next review you read needs to be more about us, less about the team. More I, less me.
Right? Come on, I'm a team
less
player.
We. I'm being serious. That was too much team in the review. I didn't like that at all. Usually it makes me feel good at the end, but I saw it twice. They wrote SGPN.
I like Jay Will, and I like all you. Thank you for tuning in. We got a great week. Super Bowl shows. Gonna be out in Vegas. The VSiN show Friday night, live from the Win. Final Super Bowl predictions kicking off Thursday, 10:30 ish, and some big guests along the way.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean. Second the Money Green. He's Ryan.
When do we hear the Super Bowl song? On Thursday?
Yes,
live from Vegas.
Yeah, although they're gonna demonetize the show because of playing the NFL theme song. I have to decide.
Cares?
I have to decide whether or not it's worth it.
What do you mean? Is it worth it? It's 100% worth it. It's a special occasion. I mean, we're using the word Super Bowl too. We're
Thank you for
rebels
participating in the
cause.
Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean. Stacking the Money Green. He's Ryan.
Nice work, Sean.
Kramer. Let it ride.